Welcome back to the KEMPIRE Daily YouTube channel, where we talk about the hottest topics in music, entertainment, and even reality TV. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out when we go live or when we upload. Let's talk about the latest episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I've been posting on my TikTok talking about this, and I see everyone's comments. And I think sometimes we get so invested in these shows, and I am not judging because I am just as invested, but we forget that it is a reality TV show. A lot of people are saying, Kenya broke girl code, Kenya broke girl code. Portia doesn't have to admit to anything, and she doesn't. She doesn't. But we forget you are filming a reality show that depends on it being interesting enough for people to continue to watch. And many of you have said Atlanta has been boring up until this Bolo episode. And honestly, the Bolo episode to me wasn't interesting when Bolo was there. Look, I get it, ladies. He's hot, he's sexy, he has a big, but that part to me wasn't as interesting as opposed to the cover up, the literal cover up, the covering of the cameras, the covering of the stories. Everyone's mad at Kenya, and I get it. People hate Kenya, and Kenya leans into being the villain on the show, and being the villain to all of the viewers. She leans into it, and you guys you fall for it every time. But the sad part about Kenya's story is that she doesn't have the life that she really wants in regards to a family, a husband. You know, she has Brooklyn now. And we saw in this latest episode that drama unfold towards the end. But before we get into that drama, let's still explore Strippergate. Bolo was on Watch What Happens Live. And first of all, I love when especially Black people put Andy in his place. And Bolo put Andy in his place in a nice way, because Andy makes it seem as if the fact that Bolo was on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, that it changed the trajectory of his career. Bolo was like, no, I've been booked and busy for like the last 12 years. I've been doing this for a while. No, I didn't watch the episode.
The show, but
oh, you didn't? Hey, it is. Wait, Bolo, you didn't watch the episode?
No, I'm not real big on like watching like.
But you were the star of the episode.
I know, I get it. I do get that, but you know, I got other stuff to be taken care of. I hear about it afterwards, but as far as like watching this show, no, I didn't watch it. I was there. What the hell I need to watch it for?
Yeah, well, you sure were.
You know,
I was there. I did it. Didn't want. I just love that. It just reminded me of the Monique moment when Monique was like, that little check. Anyways, Bolo is booked and busy. Everyone was very impressed with Bolo. A lot of you loved this particular episode. But this last episode is the aftermath of everything. Kenya trying to figure out who were those voices that we heard in that empty room. Tanya was staying with them. Why was that an empty room? Was she on the second floor? I don't think so. Because in this episode, Tanya throws herself under the bus, and Portia sort of, that I slept in Portia's room. Why did you sleep in Portia's room? Even Candy was just like, oh, girl. Tanya, of everyone, was acting the guiltiest. And as I said before, there's no reason to act guilty. There's no reason. If it was me and I had done my dirt, first of all, I probably would have admitted it. I'm like Candy. I'm a Taurus. But at the same time, I wouldn't never let them see you sweat, y'all. Never let them see you sweat. Tanya was sweating all kinds. I mean, she was shook. She was shook. I was like, are you okay, Tanya? Because she was so defensive, which says to me, a body language expert. No, I'm not. I'm really not. But it says to me that Tanya was involved in this situation, which is okay. Like, I'm not going to look at Tanya any different, but in Tanya's head and in Tanya's career and her perception of what she wants people to think of her, that doesn't match up with that. And I get it. But Tanya, you're on the wrong show. You're on the wrong show. This is not what the show is about. You should have known that from last season with Cookie Lady. I don't know if Tanya and her fiance of the last 11 years, I don't know. They've been engaged for a while. I don't believe engagements like that. If you're going to get engaged, get married within a year or so. I get it's a pandemic, so I give you a little bit longer. But anyways, I digress. So she was acting very guilty during this last conversation. And apparently Tanya stopped filming after they left the house. So maybe that's part of the reason why they don't label the room as Tanya's room. I'm not sure. But Portia also was acting very guilty, and which leads me to believe that Portia wasn't as single as she was saying during this episode. She even said during the episode, she's like, "Oh, I'm single, but I do have a whole fiance." That doesn't go together, Portia. That doesn't make much sense. And you may recall after Strippergate came out, because of the Love B. Scott exclusive, I love how in the future episodes they say Page 6 breaks the story, but it was Love B. Scott that came out with Strippergate way before anyone else. So shout out to Love B. Scott. It's interesting to me, right after it came out, Strippergate, both Dennis and Portia made it seem like they were single on their social media. And I'm not sure what was going on there. Maybe right after that, she really called things off between the two of them. And I think we're going to see that in the next episode. I just don't think Portia was as single as she claims to be, which is okay. At the end of the day, Portia, you're a grown woman. I just feel like Portia doesn't own her freakiness. And when I say freakiness, she doesn't own her sexuality. She doesn't own that she likes. I mean, I see it in other ways that she does own it. But like when it comes to the bisexuality of things, she doesn't own that, or she sort of strays away from it, which she can. But again, you're on a reality show. Did you guys forget that? You're on a reality show. So everything that you're doing on this reality show or trying not to show in the reality show, all of us are going to comment. All of us are going to share our thoughts on what you put on a reality show. I still love Portia. Don't take this as me not loving Portia. Portia, I've interviewed Portia her first season on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I enjoyed her. I think Portia is probably one of our greatest housewives. She has evolved in such ways that I enjoy her. I didn't love her this last episode just because I feel like she got mad at Kenya. They're never going to be friends. They may be able to get along, but they're never going to be friends. Everyone's saying Kenya's focused on Portia. She's trying to make a storyline. Yes, Kenya's trying to make a storyline so that the season is not full of crap. Because everyone has told me they stopped watching because Nene's not there. They stopped watching because it's boring. But now everyone's back interested in the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kenya is a producer in reality, but also a producer for this show. Because I know the producers probably would have been like, oh God, we don't really have anything here this season. But it does look like they do have more coming up this season, especially when Drew pulls up allegations against LaToya. Speaking of Drew and LaToya, while they were still in South Carolina, LaToya was getting mad at Kenya at one point, but got mad at Drew at another point. She just doesn't like Drew because they had their own little friction right before she got mad at Kenya. And I'm not sure exactly what LaToya was annoyed at Kenya for. Maybe she just didn't like the fact that Kenya was, sort of breaking girl code. I get it. Like, I know it's reality. In reality, that would be breaking girl code. Why are you continuously bringing up this stuff that happened the night before? Yes, we had a private moment. We don't need that put out there on television. I'm just saying, if you didn't want to put out there on television, you should be mindful of who you party with. If you don't, and Portia even said that, like, yeah, she knows that's someone she cannot party with. I wouldn't have partied with Kenya. You ain't gonna be throwing me under the bus. Kenya's only looking out for herself. Just a thought. But Don Juan and Candy sitting down talking about this Strippergate situation. Don Juan needs to be a housewife. He is hilarious. I like the fact that he is so not fazed by being on reality TV that he just speaks his mind. I can appreciate that. And I think that's why Candy keeps him around as one of her most loyal confidants, because he does tell her the truth, even if it's about her. Love that. But that's us Tauruses. Tell us the truth. Don't sugarcoat us. We don't need yes men around us. I digress. But I love the fact that he was giving us what we needed in this episode, between the comedy and the truth. Let's talk about Drew Sidor and her relationship with Ralph. A couple of you guys have told me when we went live on Friday here on the channel, a lot of you were telling me that there are no beaches in Tampa. But then some of you were saying, yeah, there are beaches, but they're maybe like 45 away, 45 minutes to an hour away. Okay. I don't know. The fact that we don't know where you were for 3 days, the fact that you get so volatile when asked about it and you haven't been able to give her a clear answer, to me, that's such a cloud over Drew's whole relationship and her whole storyline that it's hard for a lot of us to get past. And I think when she comes at other people about their marriages or their relationships or the way that they conduct their lives, we're looking at a girl, get your life together before you talk about anyone else's. Please. And also, can we talk about Drew's fashion and the wigs and the makeup? All right, I won't. Y'all can talk about it in the comments. I'm not going to even mention anything. Look. Anyways, let's move. That toxic relationship, I'm not sure. I heard an interview with them as a couple, and I was like, I kind of like them, but I'm not sure if they're good enough for reality TV. A toxic relationship is one thing, but in reality, I don't know if I want to watch that on a weekly basis. But let's talk about Kenya and her toxic relationship. As you know, Mark Daly released a statement a few weeks ago confirming that they would be divorcing. But you also may recall several months ago, he filed for divorce in New York City. Well, that was filmed on the show, and apparently he can't file for divorce in New York. They're supposed to file, I guess, in Georgia. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Anyways, first of all, I think Kenya needs a new lawyer. No offense to this man. First of all, when he saw her, I felt like he looked down to make sure he knew her name. What's happening here? I don't know what that was. But the other thing is this whole situation in regards to him filing first. She didn't know that he filed. I'm not surprised. She probably also didn't know that he filed when he filed again on her birthday, or released that statement on her birthday or the day before her birthday, her 50th birthday. But her concern was the fact that he's asking for alimony. And he's also didn't mention anything about Brooklyn. There are allegations about Mark Daly in the blogs in regards to other relationships, not being the best father. I don't know. Those are all allegations. I don't know that to be fact. I'm not going to make those allegations against someone because, look. But it is a little interesting to me that he's leaving it up to the courts to decide the situation with the custody. But I've always looked at Mark a little weird, like, okay, your daughter's in Atlanta the majority of the time, and you're here in New York. And this is like his new child. It's not like it's a child that he's had for a while, but even so, like, don't you want to see your child on a regular basis? Or at least a few months out of it just seems very weird to me. And a lot of you said, doesn't she also stay in a hotel when she visits New York? Why is she not staying with him? There's a lot of situations going on around Kenya. I'm tired of the whole Ken Mark Daly situation. I have to say, a lot of you wanted to see Kenya happy in a relationship and with a marriage. And a lot of you are saying the reason why Kenya doesn't have that is because she's a miserable person. I don't know what it is. Obviously, there's something going on there. I want to see Kenya come back next season. I'm not one of those people that say, I don't want Kenya to come back. But next season, I don't need Kenya dating. I need Kenya in therapy. Kenya needs to figure out the situation with the rejection that she received from her mother. She also wasn't raised by her father, allegedly. She was raised by her grandmother. Kenya needs some therapy. We need to see Kenya in therapy. She's still a good time girl. She even had fun at the stripper situation. She had fun. She was, spreading it wide and dipping it low with the rest of the ladies. So I definitely think Kenya has a lot there. And as I said before, I'm glad to see Kenya and Marlo coming together. I do like that dynamic, and I think she needs that. I don't think Candy is a strong enough friend in that regard when it comes to these ladies. I think Candy's a good friend, but I don't think she's a good ally in regards to the rest of these ladies. I don't know. Let's discuss this more in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on Kenya, Drew's relationship. What about the upcoming episodes about Drew versus LaToya? They have something going on there. And oh yeah, let's not forget, Kenya admitted in this episode that she has a crush on LaToya. I'm not here for that storyline either. Look, I don't believe it. I think that's what it is. I don't believe that you have a crush on LaToya. I really don't. Latoya's a beautiful girl. You're a beautiful woman. I don't believe that storyline. I just feel like you're jealous maybe of her becoming better friends with other people when you started to have an ally in Latoya. But I'm kind of glad to see that they're mending that. I don't believe that she has a real crush. I think that's another storyline Kenya's trying to produce. Anyways, let me know what you think about this latest episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out when we go live or when we upload.